Barcelona, Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, because the other games are pretty much sorted.
And they will fear Liverpool because Liverpool, again, with their attack, the other teams could be as fearful of Liverpool because if Liverpool were to go on. I think the great thing about this game, if I put a neutral hat on, it is so important almost for Liverpool to advance because we know that City will invest in the summer, another 2 players or 3 players. And if City are to escape this situation here, when does the others get to catch them? Because I think then City can go on to dominate for a number of years. So this is a case of Liverpool catching up with City, with the investment that City's made.
I like Jurgen Klopp as a Liverpool manager. He's got that charisma. He is, I could say this, he's almost like a folk hero in waiting when he went there because of he's got a big personality, but he also knows his onions when it comes to football.
Hey, you know
what I mean? He's the right manager for that club that loves a sort of vibrant, alive personality.
He's a little bit older version of Mickey Gray as well, doesn't he?
A very beautiful man.
Mickey, on that, it's important that they keep hold of Jurgen Klopp because lots of reports in the papers today that he could be off somewhere else.
Yeah, well, I think Jurgen Klopp's there for the long haul. I really do. If I'm speaking about the 2 sides, Man City, I went to the semi-final last season. Real Madrid. Did I feel the atmosphere?
Was that 2 seasons ago?
2 seasons ago, sorry, I beg your pardon. 2 seasons ago, I went to the semi-final. And did I feel an atmosphere that was, when I walked out, if I was a Real Madrid player, that there would fear? Yeah. No, I didn't.
Odd.
I saw Man City walk out at Anfield on Wednesday last week, and I felt it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the difference at the moment between the 2 clubs. That atmosphere on Wednesday was as good as I've heard. It was amazing. And that's what Man City have to do on Tuesday. And certainly, they've got to make it that way.
The atmosphere was really good yesterday, I thought, especially before the game. They really sort of whipped it up well. It was ear-splitting right as they kicked off. But
sorry, just to jump in, sorry, Sam. But to jump in, what I was saying was, if Liverpool get to the semi-finals, and whoever has to go
advantage
and play, I think the fear factor's there at Anfield. I don't
so whoever goes
there
will feel the same thing. Gentlemen, listen, it's been a 4 hours that has whizzed by. It's been fantastic to be here again. I really appreciate you coming. Thanks to the guys here at Lime Bar on Salford Quays who've looked after us tremendously today. Thank you very much for everyone who sort of contributed to the programme, whether that be by tweets or by text. Have a good week. Sean, will City overturn it?
I believe so.
Michael?
They'll win, but no.
Jamie?
I'm going to dream and say yes.
OK, we'll soon find out. Tuesday night, Liverpool against Manchester City live. Extended updates here on TalkSport. Coming next, Dean Ashton and Andy Goldstein and Stuart Robson bring you the final word.
European Matchday Live this afternoon from 5 over on TalkSport 2.
TalkSport 2 takes you all around the grounds from all the major games across the continent, bringing you all the goals as they go in.
Turns it into the area. Oh, what a finish!
Plus, hear full commentary of Real Sociedad versus Girona from kickoff at 5:30.
Squares the ball, must be a goal, it is a goal!
Followed at 7:45 by Valencia versus Espanyol.
And it's Simone Zaza! It's a wonderful header!
European Matchday Live this afternoon from 5 over on TalkSport 2.
Download the Talk Radio app and get the biggest names in British broadcasting, wherever you are, whenever you want them. Download the Talk Radio app and get the new big thing in British broadcasting, wherever you are, whenever you want it. Listen live. Get Paul Ross when you're on the road and Ian Lee wherever you may be. Download the Talk Radio app for free from your app store now.
.uk/check your pay.
The national minimum wage.
And the national living wage. It's a step up in pay.
With breakdown cover from the AA, we'll do whatever it takes to make sure your big wheels keep on turning. Our mechanics usually fix your car within 30 minutes of arriving. Breakdown cover from the AA, because anything can happen.
Want great odds on the Premier League? You get more with Betfair. More drama, more tension, more exhilaration. Betfair have been best odds most often on the Premier League This season, at elite bookmakers. Betfair. Ready for more?
Data provided by TX Odds and BetRadar, based on Betfair Sportsbook odds placed between the 11th of August 2017 and the 1st of March 2018. All terms at betfair.com, 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
On digital radio and 1089 and 1053 AM. Talk Sport.
Next up, live on National Radio, of course, it's the final word with me, Andy Goldstein, Dean Saunders, Dean Ashton. We'll be taking your calls following the game that Arsenal 3, Southampton 2. We'll be looking back at all the big decisions from the weekend. And, of course, we'll be keeping you up to date with everything that's going on at the Bridge. 29 minutes played, it's still Chelsea 0, West Ham 0. We'll have some awful music with terrible questions as well. It's the final word with me and the two Deans right after the news and sport. It's Colin Besley.
Thanks, Andy. Good afternoon. Coming up, government denies any link between police cuts and rise in violent crime. And in sport, Chelsea still have Premier League top 4 aspirations in their sights this afternoon.
Talk Sport.
But first, President Trump has condemned a reported chemical attack in eastern Syria, saying President Assad and his allies must pay a big price. Rescue workers say at least 40 people were killed in the strike in Douma, although it's feared many more have died. The Home Secretary is promising to target social media firms over posts which encourage gang violence. Amber Rudd's new crime strategy also promises to crack down on stabbings by banning so-called zombie knives and restricting online sales of other types. Under 18s will be stopped from buying acid. Assistant Chief Constable Rachel Cairton is a national police lead on acid attacks. He thinks the problem is underreported.
There are some cases where the victims involved in acid and corrosive substance attacks are in fear of reprisals. Some we do believe may be connected to some gang crime elements, and these are very young, vulnerable people in many cases.
A woman's critically ill after being found stabbed at a church in Coventry. Police say the victim was found with wounds to her stomach at St Margaret's on Walgrave Road. Hundreds of protesters have gathered outside Labour's headquarters to demand the party deliver on its broken promise of zero tolerance of anti-Semitism. Leader Jeremy Corbyn has previously apologised for hurt caused by the party's actions.
TalkSport weather with Quick Fit. Need tyres and get down 20. Participate.
Mainly cloudy with rain at times in the showers elsewhere. Tonight rain for southern and eastern England and north of Scotland.
TalkSport. Sports Up.
With Arnold.
Welcome to the official.
Arsenal have made it 6 straight wins in all competitions. The Premier League's 6th place side got a 3-2 victory at home to Southampton, with Danny Welbeck scoring twice. They came from behind at one point, and Arsene Wenger is proud of his team's fighting spirit.
I personally believe that what we have gone through and the way we recovered,
the Chelsea is back.
This team deserves a huge credit because we were questioned really, and very proud of the way this team has behaved.
Chelsea are currently 2 points above Arsenal, drawing 0-0 with West Ham at Stamford Bridge. Scottish Premiership leaders Celtic have taken another step closer to retaining their title. The leaders have gone a 2-1 win at 10-man Hamilton. League 2 Lincoln, of course, an upset with a 1-0 win over Shrewsbury to win the EFL Trophy final at Wembley. England's Paul Casey, who's on 2 over par, tees off his final round of the Masters shortly. Leader Patrick Reed is on 14 under par, 3 shots ahead of Rory McIlroy. And Northern Ireland won their first gold at this year's Commonwealth Games as Rhys McClanagan upset England's Olympic champion Max Whitlock on the pommel horse. English gymnasts Georgia May Fenton and Courtney Tulloch topped the podium as well. Remember, there's been live commentary from this afternoon's EFL Trophy final between Shrewsbury and Lincoln over on TalkSport 2.
On digital radio and 1089 and 1053 AM. TalkSport.
Well, 7 weeks is hardly a long time to be given any job.
I will love it if we love it. Oh, bloody hell.
Hello, my friends. Good evening to you. Happy Sunday and welcome to the final word on TalkSport with me, Andy Goldstein. Alongside me for the next 3 hours are 2 of the most famous footballing Deans to grace our game, apart from Dixie Dean and Dean Windass and Mike Dean. It's Dean Saunders and Dean Ashton. Boys, how are you?
Good, Andy.
Very good.
Good. It's the final word with me, Andy Goldstein. On all the weekend's football results and talking points from Ashley Young PM to the 2 Reds at the Emirates this afternoon. As always, you can have your say on any of the above simply by picking up the phone and dialing in on the normal number 08717 223344. On top of that, we'll obviously be keeping you up to date with everything that's happening at the Bridge between Chelsea and West Ham. 33 minutes have been played. It's still Chelsea 0, West Ham 0. All that plus, of course, a dollop of football triv and some awful tunes from yesteryear thrown in for good measure. It's the final word with me, Andy Goldstein, Dean Saunders and Dean Ashton with you on TalkSport till 8 p.m. Oh, it's good to see you. How are you?
Fantastic,
Good.
yeah.
I'm still recovering from
Unfortunately.
the Man United Man City.
Oh, we'll talk about that in a minute. We've got loads to talk about. It's nice to say, though, as well, that me and Dean have dressed up for the occasion. Well, you look just awful today, Dean.
Andy, right, you two look like you're in the shop window, Adidas shop window.
Yeah. We have got the same hoodie on.
And some young girl intern has been called into the office to say, who dressed them two mannequins?
As opposed to the one dummy we got in front of us.
Well, Andy, you're 48. You can't dress like that. You've got a hoodie on.
I'm not.
You can't wear a hoodie when you're your age.
He's older than me, and I'm not 48. How old are you, Dean?
I look it, but I'm not.
Are you younger than
Dean
me?
looks all right today. He's matching.
Of course I'm younger
What do you mean, course? Look at you, look at me. I look much younger than you. How old are you, Dean?
Dean's got the cream, coffee-coloured Adidas top on, and it's matching his head.
Yeah.
He's coordinated. At least he's coordinated. You've got the black one on.
Can I ask with you, right? And you do look immaculately just as always.
Thanks, Andy.
You're always
I've still got that coat.
Of course, I've still got the coat. Always get complimented wherever I go with it. Your thing now seems to be the waistcoat under the jacket.
Hides the belly.
Yeah. Is that something new, or is that how you've always dressed, with the waistcoat under
Hides the belly.
Okay, but
I ain't getting away with the skin-tight, slim-fit
anymore.
Gary Lineker shirt. You know, them ones he wears on Match of the Day.
Have you got your initials on that handkerchief?
Which one?
Oh, please tell me there's DS. Pull it
I've got
out.
loads of them. No.
Tell me DS is written on that.
No, I've got loads of them.
Hopefully it will say Liverpool
As my
and
dad
Wales
said,
is DS.
Son, you can never be too smart.
And there's a punchline coming up.
No.
Go on, there he is. Go on.
I told you that last week.
What's the punchline? Go on.
No, I said last week.
Are you looking forward to the golf? Before we get involved with the football, we're going to talk golf later on in the show, but I know you're both massive golf fans. Oh, wait there one moment. There has been a goal at the bridge. Ian Abrahams is watching for TalkSport.
Chelsea, West Ham United 0, and it's Cesar Spilicueta who's poked the ball home, and it's a bit harsh on Joe Hart. Just made an Willian. West Ham didn't clear their lines, and Cesar Azpilicueta has poked the ball home. He kisses his badge, he points to the black armband on his shirt as well, as if to honour Ray Wilkins. But, I mean, that was a really poor goal for West Ham to concede. Straight from a corner, played out to the edge of the area, and I'm sorry, but Azpilicueta has just poked it in from, 4 or 5 yards out. It's Chelsea 1, West Ham 0.
Cheers, Moose, as always. We're watching here in the studio. Dean Ashton, I'll start with you. Arnautovic to blame for that? The ball took an age to come down from the sky, and Arnautovic just standing there.
But that's why you shouldn't have centre forwards marking, or even in the box.
Really?
Because plays. Just don't have them there. I've done that. I've done that before. You're watching the ball, just basically watching the ball, and you're thinking, where can we counter attack? If he heads it, can I then counter attack on the left? And who's in front? He's not thinking, well, Azpilicueta's just run off the back of me.
Yeah.
Not all of them. I mean, the only Alan Shearer, who I was fortunate to be with at Newcastle, you could rely on him. He used to stand in the near post and head it, and he'd see the danger. But you're right. What you say, in Lukaku do it. The second phase is what they're on their way out, running up the pitch, leaving men, and that's what happened there. And if you watch, the ball's gone to the back post, and all the West Ham defenders at the near post have just turned and watched, whereas all the anticipators are getting the second ball, and that's what happened.
That's the score at the moment at the bridge. Chelsea just scored thanks to Azpilicueta on 36 minutes. Chelsea leading by a goal to 0 against West Ham. If you're just turning on your radio now, we'll be keeping you up to date with the rest of this first half, and then, of course, all of the second half alongside me is Dean Ashton and Dean Saunders. Before we get into the football, just before there was a goal I asked you about the Masters.
Yeah.
I know you're big golfing fans.
Love
Dean
it.
Saunders, I'll start with this time. Who's your money on?
Well, I thought, right, anybody could win this, but you think... But well, what I'll do, I'll have a bet on Bernard Langer to finish the best senior.
Right,
Bernard
okay. I
Langer's
didn't
won
expect this answer, I'll be brutally honest.
Right, so I've done Bernard Langer,
okay.
and I thought after last week, Poulter's on form.
Yes.
So players going in there, putting well and chipping well. I thought so. I went Poulter, and he hasn't done it. But
okay. Who do you think will win it?
I think Rory's going to win it.
Dean?
I think Patrick Reed will hold on. Because I think he'll go into...
Is it a 3-shot lead at the moment?
Got 3-shot lead, but I think he'll go into this match play mode and...
Tries to trick his way through. What happens, though?
So competitive when it comes to...
If he bogeys the first hole and McIlroy birdies it, it's like game on.
Yeah. But you'll see, I'm guessing you'll see that throughout the evening. Yeah, it should be fascinating. I mean, it's something a little bit special about golf.
Alan Brazil's backed Rory.
Test day. Chelsea have a free kick in a very, very useful position. It's about a yard outside the penalty area, very wide on the left-hand side. Willian and Fabregas are having a conversation about who might deliver. It's going to be Willian as Fabregas walks away. West Ham need to defend this one. Willian in towards the near post. It was Azpilicueta again with a back heel, and then we saw the uncharacteristic side of Eden Hazard swinging his foot at the ball and missing it completely, which doesn't happen very often. Willian, Fabregas, Chelsea looking for a second goal before the interval. Victor Moses right-hand side. Azpilicueta, who got the first goal, plays the cross in. Morata tries to crane his neck to reach the ball, but was never going to, falling backwards.
Well, it's got to be an inch perfect cross because Morata's the only player in there. He's up against 3, 4, 5 West Ham players. There they are. Look, the back three's in there. One wing back. It's got to be a perfect ball in. Very difficult, too ambitious really. Yeah. That's where they need support. He needs support in the box, not just himself, even just to create some space for himself. You know, another player running across the near, maybe taking 1 centre-half out of the way, just to give him that room to operate in. Right up.
5 minutes to go to half-time. It's absolutely whizzed past this half. Chelsea leading by 1-0. West Ham United haven't created very much at all throughout the game. Certainly created nothing since they went behind. Barely been in the Chelsea half since Azpilicueta scrambled the ball home. Here's Willian finding Hazard. Clever dummy. Morata to Hazard. Hazard is putting West Ham to the sword at the moment. Finds Morata. Tries to return the compliment. But again, the ball is a little short. And then an extraordinary effort, I think, by Rudiger, who actually appeared to shoot from the edge of the centre circle low and hard. It was blocked. Here's Alonso, though. Chelsea very much in the ascendancy now. Alonso, though, loses the ball, and West Ham United will spend some time in the Chelsea half, which they haven't done for a while. Kouyaté forward towards Arnautovic. Thibaut Courtois is there first. I've got a feeling Arnautovic might have been offside if he'd actually played the ball.
I think so, but he did want the through ball on the floor. He's pointing to the grass and keep it on the grass. As soon as you lift it up, it will skip away. Again, though, Morata's build-up play just lets him down. Ball return pass to Alonso.
Fabregas in centre midfield finds N'Golo Kante. Chelsea good value for their 1-0 lead at the moment. West Ham United would stay on 33 points were they to lose. It's 5 points above the drop zone. Southampton having lost today, but only narrowly at Arsenal. Here's Willian for Chelsea. He's had a good season in a team that's generally underperformed, Willian.
And just going back to Hazard, I mean, I did Barcelona the other day against Leganes, and Messi, you know, was sensational from the first minute. He was so sharp, almost like Hazard today. Hazard is reminiscent. He's just up against a better side. Yeah. I wonder if he was playing against the Leganes, but he would also have 2 or 3 goals.
Here's Marcos Alonso, drives the ball across the face of goal. Azpilicueta will try and keep it in far side. He's not succeeded in doing that, and the ball has gone out of play for a West Ham United throw. Hammers are unbeaten actually in their last 5 London derbies since they lost against Spurs back in September. They have a better record in all London clashes recently than Chelsea do, but Chelsea have the upper hand at the moment. And West Ham will be hoping that, like Arsenal have done today, Chelsea can do them a favour maybe by beating Southampton next week. As it's an oddity of the fixture list that Chelsea will play Southampton here in the league next weekend, and then the weekend after they play Southampton in the semi-finals of the FA Cup, which is now as if it could be Chelsea's only genuine realistic ambition this season. Southampton of course have worries of their own. The other semi-final, Manchester United against Spurs. Here's Mark Noble for West Ham. 1.5 minutes to go to half-time at Stamford Bridge, where West Ham United haven't won in 11 visits. They take a draw at the moment as Joe Mario collides with Victor Moses. Chelsea clear only as far as Creswell. Masuaku is over on the far side trying to find a way between Willian and Moses, but the ball's been nicked out of play by Victor Moses. Antonio Conte, hands in pockets, will be relatively happy, I think, with what he's seen in the opening half. No doubt that Chelsea deserve their lead for the fact that they've had much more possession and created far more chances. Here's Moses, the ball squirting across almost into the path of Arnautovic, but it's swept away by Rudiger. Declan Rice, the London-born Irishman, pushes the ball forward for West Ham United. Kevin Friend's going to bring play back because there's a Chelsea player down on the deck. It's Victor Moses on the far side who's picked up an injury. It will extend the first half a little bit. It was Masuaku who went through on him. Was that a dangerous tackle? I mean, he had his foot raised, but I got the impression he went for the ball.
Yeah, so do I. I think it was a combination of two missed clearances. One from Azpilicueta, awful, actually skidded up off the turf. Here's this little wonderful opportunity, wasn't it? That led to the goal. Great little interlink play between Hazard and Willian. And look, you see West Ham, they're not set up from the corner. They're almost switched off. It's too deep in their goal. That's where the header is. Look, 4 yards out. They should be up near the penalty spot by the time the ball gets pulled back. Far too slow reacting.
Off the shin of Azpilicueta and the right hand of Aaron Creswell. It kind of deflected off the West Ham United defender, not significantly. Here's Arnautovic. When he's on the attack, West Ham do have hope. They could get a corner here, but it's been prevented from crossing the line. Arnautovic has won it back for West Ham there and finds Pablo Zabaleta. Zabaleta's been more used in his career to pushing for titles rather than battling relegation. The Premier League twice with Manchester City, of course. I'm sure he would have been hoping that City would have picked up the title against Manchester United yesterday, but it wasn't to be. West Ham have a corner though in stoppage time at the end of the first half. It's fisted away by Courtois, back in by no one and smashed on the volley out of harm's way. Kevin Friend blows his whistle and Chelsea will head for the dressing rooms with a one-goal advantage which they deserve on the balance of play. A scrappy goal by Cesar Azpilicueta, but they've been the better team. They've had more of the chances and they deserve to be leading at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, West Ham United 0. You're listening to Premier League Live.
Premier League football is a truly global game, and TalkSport is the global audio partner of the Barclays Premier League.
It's a massive goal!
With live commentary of all three